What's up, Bulldog family? I know we're really excited about getting started on Monday, the 29th, and I just want to give you a few updates about that day and the procedures and all that kind of stuff. I know Cody went on vacation, so we're without a trainer, so we can't do our normal um, late night workouts, which is fine. I know this time, the next 2 weeks are not mandatory. It's just a time for us to get together and begin to start conditioning for the season. So I know a lot of you guys have had vacations planned for the normal dead period and that sort of things, and that's okay. Don't worry about it. Relax. We'll be back together, July 15th for real, and should be back to more normal football activities at that point. A couple things I do want to remind you of. We have to follow very strict guidelines, and I need everybody to, no matter how you feel about it, whether you're totally, on board with everything that has come out about it or not, that doesn't really matter. We need to all be on board if we want to play football in the fall, and we need to follow the things that they tell us to do, regardless if we think it's not for us or not. But at the same token, here's some things that you need to remember when you come in on Monday morning or whenever you do get the chance to come. All cars have to come into the main Dunbar parking lot, not by the band area up where the students and teachers normally park. Everybody will be let out there. And if you drive, you have to park there. You'll walk to the ticket entrance where a coach will be there, and they'll have a form for you to fill out. The form will ask you some of the basic questions that everyone's asking, when you're going to be around a group of people. So you'll answer those questions, and then you'll go into the stadium, and there'll be 10 cones lined up where you'll need to gather one to each cone. I know you guys are going to want a high five, chest bump, whatever it is when you see each other, but we just can't do that. One of the big things that you have to do is when you come out of your car, you have to be wearing a mask, and you have to wear that mask until workouts start. So you need to get a gaiter, which pulls up over your face, or you need to have a, one of the normal kind of hospital masks that you wear around your face. I will try to have some of those at the desk. So if you don't have one, we'll meet you at the car or that sort of thing to give you a face mask to put on. It's very important you got to follow these rules, because if the health department or any of the school officials or anything see that we're not following a step, or we're messing up in some way, I mean, they'll just shut our practices down. So it's extremely, like I said, it's extremely important for you guys to follow these rules. Coaches will be as well. So when you enter in the stadium, you'll be lined up by the cones. Coach will come get you, take you to the field, and we'll start that first group. So you notice that I have an arrival time, which is 15 minutes before your actual time to begin. Wait in your car until your time to get on or to meet at the gate is comes upon us. So if you're a 8:15 person, then you need to wait until 8:15 to get out of your car and meet us there. Your practice time will start at 8:30. We have to keep the same 10 people together in their groups for the entire 2 weeks. That is, if one of you guys comes down with COVID-19, that's how they use contract tracing to make sure that the others don't get it as well. So it's very, very important that you stay with those 10 people. We will move you down the field in different stations every 5 to 10 minutes for different workouts. And then you guys will all exit when the workout is over, exit by the tennis court gate and walk around the building back to the parking lot to get to the car. So I know these are lots of steps and multiple steps, and I just also want to say on the July 4th weekend, we're going to get another set of guidelines for the actual start of football, which will give us a little bit more opportunity to get footballs out and do that sort of thing. At this point, the next 2 weeks, we'll have cones out, and that's it. We can't really do a whole lot of other stuff. July 6th, we can get a group into the weight room and kind of work rotations in there. So, Yeah, I know it's inconvenient for everybody. I know everybody's disappointed in all these restrictions that have come down. But regardless, again, how we feel about it, that's the reality we have right now. I don't expect this to be the new normal or anything like that. I don't buy into that. One day, we'll have a vaccine and it'll be back to the way we were doing it before. In my opinion. So, but during this time, if we want football to continue, we cannot break the rules that they've given us and the strict guidelines that they've given us to follow. And that's individual and responsibility and a lot of self-discipline from all of us to be able to make sure that we set an example for the rest of the state and schools, that we can follow the guidelines, and that we are going to do what's right. One of the things I always took pride in the last couple of years is we were one of the least penalized teams, that were out there, and we also had the least amount of turnovers than most of the teams we played in. And both of those things are about self-discipline. And so I expect that to carry over in terms of following these rules. So I need you guys to check the box below on the form that says you acknowledge the fact that you've seen the video and that you agree to the terms, so that everybody will be informed. If you have questions, leave it in the comments below, and I'll be sure to get back with you. So instead of having a bunch of Zoom meetings trying to schedule everybody in, I did this so we could just post it, and you guys can view this on your own time. So again, hey, we're going to see each other soon. If you're on vacation, if you can't get here because of work in the morning, or if you can't get a ride. One of the other things you can't do either, you can't ride with anybody unless you live with them. So you can't carpool at this moment either. So that's a very important thing. And those are on the guidelines that I sent. So that's another very, very important part. If they see you drive up and a carload of 3 or 4 of you guys get out of a car that don't live together, they're going to send you home. Okay, so if you can't get here because of, you can't get here because of rides, or you got to work or anything like that, don't worry about that right now. The next couple weeks, we really want to be, aiming for that July 15th date. Again, this 2-week period is to get everybody acclimated and back in to things. So be sure to read those bullet points that I sent out in the Band app a few days ago, the memo from Fayette County, and it gives you some strict guidelines as well there. I didn't hit probably on all of them today, but the most important ones I did. So again, if you have questions, leave it in the comment box, and we'll see you soon. Go Bulldogs.